writers! So, I'm at a very exciting part of my how-to book right now. I'm moving from my planning and my brainstorming to my actual bookmaking. So what I did is I took my steps brainstorming sheet from yesterday and I counted how many steps I had. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how many pages I stapled together for my book. I used a little corner staple. You could do 3 along the side or 2. You could even punch holes maybe and tie some string. You can get creative with it as long as it looks like an actual real book that your reader would read to learn how to do something. So I made a book of 4 steps, a book of 4 pages rather, because I have 4 steps. If you have 3 steps, how many pages would your book have? 3, exactly. If you had 6 steps, how many pages would your book have? 6, you got it. But mine has 4, so my book has 4 pages. And I looked at my first page, and I looked at my first step, which is spread peanut butter on bread. So I wrote spread peanut butter on bread on my planning sheet, but then I thought to myself, is this really as clear and specific as I could possibly be for my reader? Specific means when you get super detailed, so your reader of your how-to book knows exactly how to follow your steps. And I thought to myself, well, a good word for a how-to book is first, to tell my reader that this is what they do first. Even though it's the first page, the word first makes your reader know that that's where they start. So I added a little bit. I said first, spread peanut butter on a piece of bread, not just on bread, but on one piece of bread. And then I added a sentence saying use a knife. First, spread peanut butter on a piece of bread. Use a knife. And this is similar to the step that I had, which was just spread peanut butter on bread, but it's a little bit more specific and detailed. And you'll notice I highlighted my word first because that is a word that is very helpful to my readers in figuring out where to start. Then once I did that first step, I turned my page and I noticed my second step on my planning sheet is spread jam on bread. But I decided to make that step sound just like the first step by saying, next, spread jam on a piece of bread. Use a knife. So I added that same sentence about the knife so my reader would know what materials to use. And I also highlighted the word next. And the reason I highlighted next is because it's a similar word to first, in that it tells our readers what order the steps go in. So words like first, next, then, second, third, last, finally are really good juicy words that help your readers be even more clear about the steps they're doing for your how-to book. So I've written my first step, I've written my second step. I've remembered to use how-to words like first and next, and I think it's time to go to my third step. And on my third step planning sheet, I have put bread together. Put bread together. That's a little short though, so I was thinking to myself, how could I make that even clearer for my readers than just put bread together? And I thought, I could say then, which is a good how-to word, put the 2 pieces of bread together. So I punched it up a little bit. I'm not writing the exact same words on my steps. I'm finding a way to make them even more specific and detailed because this is just brainstorming and this is our actual real how-to book. So I want to make sure I'm super clear for my reader. I put then, which is highlighted, put the 2 pieces of bread together, and I'm remembering my punctuation and my spaces and my uppercase letters at the start of my sentence and my lowercase letters other places. Now I've done my first 3 steps and I know I have 4 steps. So on my 4th page, I'm going to use the word last so that my reader knows that this is the last step to making a delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I looked at my planning sheet, which says put it on a plate. Put it on a plate. I added the word last, but I did something else too. I noticed in my planning sheet, I had put it on a plate. Here, I'm gonna circle it for us. Put it on a plate, which is a good step, but the tricky thing about the word it when you're writing a how-to book is sometimes your reader doesn't know what it is talking about. Maybe I'm talking about the knife, or the peanut butter. So just to make extra sure that my reader is clear, I decided to take it and change it into the sandwich, because that's what I'm putting on the plate, right? So then I put last, put the sandwich on a plate. And that is the words for my how-to book so far. I'm gonna add illustrations and details later, but right now my job is to get all of the steps that are on my planning sheet into my book. And I'm gonna remember to make my writing more juicy and more clear and more specific by using how-to words like first or next or last. And I'm also going to look really carefully at the words I chose on my steps planning sheet and see if there's a way to make them any clearer for my book. So a good tip would be, if you have a word like it, maybe get even more specific with it. So let's see. I'm trying to think of an example. Instead of saying, say you were teaching someone to sing a song, instead of saying, now put it together, you could say, put all of the words to the song together, so that your reader knows exactly what materials they're supposed to be using and which order of steps they are supposed to be going in. All right, my friends, I hope this was clear. If it's not, I'm happy to answer any questions. A really important thing to remember is to have as many pages as you have steps. Add in your juicy how-to words, make sure you're being detailed and specific, and have fun with it. See you soon.